All right, we're here at the spring tide. We are watching too. So we're gonna go check in over here. So we're lining up here, waiting to check in before departure at 10 a.m. And the weather is kind of cloudy. So it says it's a guarantee to see whales. So if we don't see whales today, we can come back next time for free. And we're supposed to go on this Marauder 4 boat.
Careful.
Are you okay? Right, move faster, guys.
If you're capable of climbing up the ladder, note that there is only one way up and down, and that is a ladder through the companionway. There's room for about 15 up on the bridge. If you've got a backpack or bag on, please remove it. When you're going up that ladder, it will catch as you go on up. Remember that we are going on a boat that
Front seat taken.
necessarily sit still, so try and use the 3-point method when you're moving around. Hang on with 2 hands.
It's still windy and cold in the front. There's still more.
Should be a nice day out on the water. I think that it's relatively calm out there, but we are on the open ocean, so tide also affects what we do, so it can be a little bumpy at times. So make sure you're always taking some sort of precaution. Additionally, we should see some fog out there today, as you can see when we're looking at that. We certainly have the electronics to move about in the fog.
Out here we can move out here.
A little bit more challenging. Also, it'll also be a little cooler. So if you see us entering the fog and you are outdoors.
Welcome on board Marauder 4. It's a lovely morning out here. Nice. So I hope you're all comfortable. I'm just going to grab your attention for a couple minutes. Once again, my name's Kate. I'm up in the front. And I'm just going to run through some safety and emergency procedures while we're exiting the harbor. So Marauder 4 has never had an emergency, but in case a situation does arise, you're going to need to know what to do. So in the event of an emergency, you're going to hear an alarm sound. At that point, we're going to ask you to gather at the back deck, so that is where you boarded the boat today. When you're back there, the crew will be grabbing these life vests. They're all in the inner cabin, located underneath the seats, and we will be handing them out to you.
Between here and the breakwater, which is behind me, 7 knots. The captain is increasing the speed a little bit to 7 or so, and once we get to the breakwater, then we'll do all of this back.
Stay inside. little bit scary up here. Want to go there and take a picture for you? Real foggy. That's not too bad. But if you stand here for long, yeah, maybe it's chilly. Already? Well, we're running at 7 knots.
Are you back inside?
Yeah, unless you want to hang around out here. Yeah? Okay. Good places. Oh yeah. To spot a whale when the visibility is kind of not really strong. We don't get a good visibility over here. So far, no whales yet. We're gonna speed up and slow down, searching for whales again. Looks like it's clearer now. Less foggy over here now. See anything? See anything?
Alright, like I said, I'm going to be chatting with you guys here, but by all means, keep your eyes out on the water. I'd hate for you to miss something because you're looking at me and not at the whale. So that's going to be my first tip. Humpbacks in particular are fairly unpredictable, so we just want to keep our eyes out and not miss anything exciting.
Is it humpback whale?
Yeah. So what that humpback is doing right now is it's pointed its head down, that tail came up, and it's taking a dive. So it's going down under the water to feed, probably a couple 100 feet down. When it comes up again, we should expect it to take a few breaths at the surface, so we'll get a good view of it before it does another deep dive.
Rolling wave. There! There! Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Alright, we're seeing that.
We saw one!
There.
Way to go.
Pivot the boat so everyone can see it come up right in front of our bow. We're going to
Yes.
on our left-hand side for that humpback as we turn around. So those of you in the cabin and at the back, if you're looking to your left, you should be seeing that whale shortly.
Wow. Yeah.
It's
tail dipping down.
That was a lovely view of that humpback whale. Again, we're going to expect it to be down for a few minutes again, doing a deeper dive. You got a good sense of the size of that animal. So these are very large marine mammals. This one's not even full grown. I'd estimate that one to be a couple years old. It's a little bit on the smaller side. They can reach up to 50 feet long. That's about 17 meters. And weigh in at about 40 tons at their largest.
How do you feel you being on that small boat over there?
Now this whale, they've been timing it. It's been doing about 4-minute dives. So we expect it to keep that consistent. Humpback whales can hold their breath up to 45 minutes if they really wanted to.
Are there rules about how close boats are allowed to be to the animals?
Yeah, absolutely. We can get fairly close to humpbacks, and it does depend if we're in Canadian and American waters as well. That's Washington behind us. So we might be in American water. Hard to tell from here. But yeah, we try to keep our distance, you know, not to disturb that behavior. The whale could choose to approach us, and then we just stay put. Especially with humpbacks, we don't know where they're going to come up again. Sometimes they do come up within that regulated range. So like I said, while that humpback whale is diving, it's going down to feed. Here in BC waters, these are the feeding grounds of the humpback whale. So they make a long migration. Most of the populations we have here in BC are coming from Hawaii or Mexico, sometimes also Central America. So they travel all the way up. That's where they breed. So they have their babies down south, and they don't eat while they're there. So they make a long journey up here, and they start to feed once they arrive in BC, and some go further up north to Alaska as well. It is a long time. They lose a lot of their body fat. Yeah. So they got to build that back up again while they're here. So we usually see humpback whales by themselves. They're often solitary. They'll gather in groups if there's a good feeding ground or down south at their breeding ground.
Oh, way over there now.
Did it pop back up? Yeah. Oh, straight, yeah.
Way over there now.
All right, we've seen that whale take another breath. It's off our bow, just on the right-hand side. It's traveled a bit of a distance. We're gonna come up alongside it once again so you get another good view. Once again, we're gonna be on our left-hand side as humpback whale.
Then, oh no, no, still up. Oh, now it's going down. That's it.
It is an ecological reserve, so it's a protected area, which is great for us because that generally means there's lots of wildlife to see here. So Race Rock is one of the oldest lighthouses here on the west coast, built back in 1816.
Jellyfish.
And of course, it was built to warn sailors about these rocks here. So it's called Race Rock because as you're looking around, you may see the water sort of in turmoil. There's some waves around here. The current comes through quite strongly and races the rock. And when the fog rolls in, these islands are very difficult to see. So a lighthouse located here is quite a shipwreck here. As we get closer, you're going to want to be looking on the rock and in the water. This is a popular haul out, so that means pinnipeds, like seals and sea lions, like to come here and bring themselves up out of the water. If you're listening carefully, you can already start to hear those sea lions. They are very loud. They like to make themselves heard. So what you may hear is a barking noise. Those are the loudest ones when you hear them as you start to approach. Once you get a little closer, you may also hear a low growling sound. So we get two species of sea lions here. Those ones making the barking noise. Those are the California sea lions. The ones that make the low growling noise, those are the stellars. Yes, so you may be looking in the water and noticing some heads pop up, some fins, some splashes. Those are also sea lions will be in the water as well. You can look up on the island here, the big one with the lighthouse. You can see a few sea lions there. The lighter colored ones, so the ones that are more golden in color and larger, those are the stellar sea lions, so you can also tell them apart by looking at them. The darker colored ones, those are the Californias. Rocks is a great place to come and see these sea lions, especially starting in July. So the stellar sea lions have their breeding grounds to the north. The Californias have their breeding grounds to the south, and they start heading here in about mid-July. And their numbers just increase to... Oh, seagull got a bit of fish there. Their numbers keep increasing into the fall until the spring when they head to their breeding grounds once again. So as we're looking to our left, we're going to pass one of these smaller islands here. You'll notice if you look, so we've got a lot of sea lions on this island to the left. If you've got a keen eye and you're looking sort of on the farther side of that island, you may see a couple lumps near the water surface where the water meets the rocks. There's some harbor seals on there too. So we've got harbor seals, and then those larger animals further up on top of the rocks, those are the sea lions. And we can really hear that low growling from that group to our left. That's mostly stellar sea lions. And that does give you a good hint as to what animal these pinnipeds, so that seals and sea lions, are most closely related to. So a lot of people call seals and sea lions the dogs or the puppies of the sea because of how they look. Canadian Stellar sea lions as the Christmas of the sea. On our right side, we can see one nice harbor seal. It's that lighter color, so it's almost a white or a beige color, right where the water meets the rocks. It's cute little faces just looking at us. A much smaller animal, so the harbor seals are much smaller than the sea lions. They also have much more trouble moving on land. So the sea lions, as you can see, lots of them propped up on the rocks, can rotate those hind fins underneath them and walk around on all fours. The harbor seals, they can't do that, so their hind flippers stick out behind them. They can only wiggle around on their stomachs, so it's much harder for them to move on land. that humpback whale we saw, especially when it decided to give us a bit of a show at the end there and do some whale slaps. That's always fun when they decide to do that. And of course those sea lions and seals through race rocks are always so fun to see as well. They've got a lot of personality, there's always a lot of activity there, so it could definitely be the highlight of the trip for sure. I hope you got some great photos. If not, you may have seen Captain E running around with his fancy camera. He takes a lot of photos on there, probably a couple hundred from this trip. Give him a couple days to sort through those. We end up posting those on our social media. So even if you're not a Facebook or an Instagram user, you can just Google springtide whale watching. It should pop up for you in a couple days. If you're new to Victoria and you're looking for something to do, maybe you're feeling a little hungry and want to get some lunch, coming up on our right hand side is Fisherman Dwarf. So you see all of the sailboats in that marina, as well as those colorful floating houses. It's about a 30-minute walk from our harbor. You can go down there. There's lots of restaurants. You can get fish and chips, ice cream. I think there's even a Mexican restaurant there. So it's always a neat place to check out. I do recommend it. If you had a great trip today, we do always appreciate reviews. So if you leave us a review on TripAdvisor or Google Reviews, that would be really great. You can post your photos, tell people what you saw. It's still a interesting year in tourism with the pandemic going on. Our numbers still aren't where they're usually at. So especially the owners who have owned Spring Tide, it's a small family-owned business. They do appreciate that word of mouth. So even if you chat with your friends and family, we do appreciate that. We're going to be at the dock here in a few minutes. Now's a great time to take a look under your seat, take a look around you, make sure you aren't forgetting any belongings. If you end up back at your car or your hotel room and you notice you're missing something, you can come check back at the office. Those items make their way up there. If you borrowed a jacket from us today, you can keep that on for a few more moments, but when you get a chance, just take that off, check the pockets before, make sure you're not leaving any cell phones behind, and just put those jackets on the seat. The crew will collect those after. If you want to leave something behind on purpose, if you felt well taken care of today, we do always accept tips and gratuities, so you can pass those to the crew as you disembark the boat. Once again, we're coming around the corner here. It'll be a few more minutes until we're back at the dock. I just ask that you keep this area where I'm standing clear. So this doorway is going to open up this way. So if we're standing back a few feet, that really helps us out. Let us get off the boat, secure it nice and tight, tie those lines down, and we'll let you know when it is safe to disembark. Once again, thanks so much for joining us today. I hope to see you again sometime.